All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get started with our program. My name is Jason Minsky. I'm the Vice President of Membership and Marketing for the San Jose Silicon Valley Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to our monthly Chamber 101 seminar. Be sure to check our website, sjchamber.com, on a regular basis to find out more information about the Chamber, about seminars like the one that you're attending today. If you know somebody that is a professional speaker or that can speak professionally on a topic, and you think that they might be a good fit to address the Chamber audience, please make sure that you contact us, me directly. You can call the Chamber's number main line or pick up my business card on your way out as well, as we're scheduling these from May and on. In April, we are going to be featuring eBay, and their seminar is going to be eBay stores. So if you've ever wondered or wanted information directly from the source about how to run a store on eBay, that is going to be a seminar that you're going to want to attend. As well as other small businesses that you might frequent or know of. That would be a great seminar for you to attend as well. So without further ado, Gary has been selling successfully for over 25 years. 5 years ago, Gary finished a 19-year career with Great American Opportunities Incorporated, a school fundraising company. While there, Gary continued his sales dominance by leading the company in sales for 7 of the last 10 years out of over 400 sales reps nationwide. During this time, Gary has begun practicing and perfecting his motivational speaking skills and has now motivated, taught, and inspired over 1 million students and adults alike. Gary has spoken and trained internationally as well as nationally for several Fortune 500 companies and other well-known companies and organizations. He's sought after as one of the more powerful and dynamic life and sales coaches in the country. For the last 3 years, Gary, as one of the co-founders of Southwestern Consulting, has been heading up the training division of his company, training companies and organizations all over the world, and has been very instrumental in bringing Southwestern Consulting to where it is today, the fastest growing sales training company in the world. He resides in San Jose, California, with his beautiful daughter, Mackenzie, who is 3 years old and keeps him really busy besides everything else he does. He is a proud papa. Gary is known as Mr. Energy and Enthusiasm, and his mantra is Turn It Up a Notch, and his new book, Turn It Up a Notch Weekly, just hit the market last week. You're on for a real treat. Let's give a great, big, huge chamber welcome to Gary Michels.
Right. Put your forks down, your spoons, and everybody stand up, please. We got to get into this. We got to get excited. We got to get motivated today. You got a motivational speaker here, so I want you guys all to reach the ceiling, reach high as you can till you can't reach any higher, and then go ahead and see if you can touch the ground, please.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay if you bend your knees. All right. Now what I want you to do is I want you to take your index finger like I'm doing, point it to the ceiling here, and I want you to go around to the left like I'm doing, and go as far as you can around to the left till you cannot go any further. Don't poke your friend's eye out. Keep going as far as you can. Stretch, 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 stretch. Remember where you're pointing now, hopefully not up your friend's nose. All right, now remember that spot, and come back to the front, shake it out. Now what I'd like you to do is I would like you to this time pretend I had the ability to give you each $1 million. And what I'd like you to do is if you got $1 million, I'd like you to go around to the left and see if you could go 25% further this time. So go around left again and see this time if you can go 25% further.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I have a question for you all. How many of you were able to go 25% further? Now there's a lesson there. What's the lesson? Stretch. $1 million. Now the real lesson is this. When you think you've done your best, have you? Can you always do better? Yeah. Absolutely. All right. One last thing I want you to do, please, is go ahead and look to the person to your left and give them a big smile. All right. Now go ahead and look to the person to your right and give them a big smile. And now what I'd like you to do is look back to the better looking of the two, please. Just kidding. How about the smarter of the two? All right, everybody have a seat. I'd like to thank you all for coming out and watching me speak today. This is the second time I've had the opportunity to speak at the chamber here, and it was really a blast last year. I showed you a video a moment ago called the 100-0 Principle, and the reason I showed that to you is in life, can you really change anybody else? Who's the one person you really have the most effect and influence over?
Yourself.
Yourself, okay? And sometimes, though, we're so set in our ways and we're going through stuff in our life and things are happening, we have a hard time changing ourselves. Okay? And things get tough. And this speech that I'm going to talk about today, it's actually one of my favorite to give, and I made a goal to give this speech 100 times this year because right now it's the speech that's, I think, making the most impact on people's lives. And it's how to be worth $1 million, not just money-wise, but emotionally-wise through what you say to yourself. So you all should have a handout that you got today. Does anybody not have the handout? Okay, could you help out, Deborah, and pass out people that don't have a handout? Raise your hand. And you'll need a pen, something to write with. And what I want you to do when you get your handout is I want you to write somewhere on the front of it, or on the back of it, I want you to write this sentence. And this sentence is this: 60 to 80% of what we say to ourselves when we talk to ourselves is either negative or survival mode. 60 to 80% of what we say to ourselves when we talk to ourselves is either negative or survival mode. I'll give you an example. This is hard. Oh man, traffic sucks. It's going to rain this weekend. People aren't buying from me right now. Man, I'm stressed out. Gosh, I gotta call all these people back. Man, if she would only be different. If he would only be different. I'm hungry. Okay, now, those are kind of negative. Now, and survival mode is a little different. Survival mode, I like to call it the I gotta syndrome. G-O-T-T-A, got it. I gotta get up in the morning. I gotta get up. I gotta eat. I gotta sleep. I gotta deal with her. I gotta deal with him. I gotta go to work. You guys with me on that? All the stuff that we gotta do. Now, if most of your life, what you're saying to yourself is negative or survival mode, and that's what the input is, it's what you're saying to yourself, what do you think likely is to happen with the output? A lot of the same, right? But 60 to 80% of most human beings in this world, they do negative or survival mode. Not the, I'm on fire, I'm rocking it, man, nothing's going to stop me, I can kill this thing, I can do great, we're going to rock it, man, things are awesome, things are incredible, I'm going to lose that weight, I'm going to get that job, I'm going to make that sale. What if we did that all the time? What do you think would eventually happen with our activity? It would increase, and it would also probably be the right activity. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So first of all, let me tell you a story. Anybody here went to college? Anybody go to college here? Okay. Do we have any Greeks in here that were in a fraternity or a sorority? All right. So you all know what it means when you go through. We used to call. I went to UC Santa Barbara, graduated in 1987, and I was initiated into Sigma Phi Epsilon fraternity. And the 1 week prior to getting initiated, do you guys know what they call that? Pledge week. We call it Hell Week. Okay? And the reason is because you have to do lots of stuff to prove you're worthy. When I was in college, it meant a lot of nakedness and drinking. Okay? A lot of embarrassment, a lot of things that would embarrass you. And one thing we had to do that was I thought was really interesting is we had to, if anybody's ever been to Santa Barbara before, it's a biker campus, not like Harley biker. It's, you ride around on a bicycle to get around campus. And so you have all your books inside your backpack, and we had to take all of our books out of our backpack and replace it with 7 bricks, like fireplace bricks, with the fraternity colors on them. And all week long, we had to carry around our backpack with the bricks in it, and if you were caught by any of the brothers without your backpack with the bricks in it, you were what's called blackballed, and you didn't get a chance to be initiated into the fraternity. Now, one good thing that happened, so it was tough, by the way. You're riding on your bike with your books in your hand, and it's just a pain in the butt. But as the week went on, each of the days of the week, we got to take 1 brick out of the backpack. So our load got a little bit lighter each day. So by Wednesday you had, 4 bricks left. Thursday you had 3. Friday you had 2. Saturday you had 1, and you got initiated Saturday night. And I'd like to kind of share that analogy with all of you today, that our lives are exactly like that. We all carry on our back imaginary backpacks. We all have them, every one of us, including myself. And in our backpacks are things that are holding us back from being truly amazing as a human being. You all with me on that? It might be fear. It might be money to do what you want to do. It might be ambition. It might be a lot of things. You know, it might be you're going through some stressful times in your life, a loss, a divorce, or whatever. But would you all agree with me, we all probably have some bricks in our backpacks. Okay? And one of those bricks, one of those things that's holding us back, for most of us, is the way we talk to ourselves. If we're constantly doing I gotta syndrome, and I don't know if I can do this, and things are tough, and the economy's tough right now, and I got that, well, I'm just kind of waiting and seeing mentality, then that's what type of results you'll have. But my question to all of you right now, are there people right now that are kicking tail in work? Even though the economy is still somewhat slow, right? Are there people that you know that are kicking tail in life right now? Even though the economy is somewhat slow. So today I want to go through with you how to change that, how to do a little flip of the switch, shall we say, so that you can start to have positive self-talk, positive things going through your head. And my goal is that after today, you'll actually put the action into place to really start to explode. And that's what we call it, millionaire mindset through positive self-talk. First principle I want to talk to you guys about is Mr. Mediocrity. Did anybody ever watch the television show The Flintstones? Do you guys remember that Martian gazoo that would float above Fred Flintstone's shoulder? Do you guys remember that guy? And he would say things like, Fred, it's okay to be average. Wilma will still love you. You don't have to earn a lot of money. People will give you things. It was always about it's okay to be average. All right? And sometimes if we don't have anybody holding us accountable, we allow ourselves to be average. We don't make that one last call. Oh, I'll just hit the snooze button one more time. Or I'll start my diet next week. Or someday. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We allow ourselves to be mediocre. And I bet you everybody in this room has the capability to be rock stars. Because otherwise you wouldn't be down here right now. You wouldn't care. You're trying to better yourselves. So at first, when I first do this session to some people, it's a little bit like some of you are in the room right here, and you're very open, you're very vulnerable to this, and you go, you know, I'm whatever Gary says, I'm open to this. Others of you might have the look of vulnerability, but inside you might be like this. I don't know, I'm just self-talk stuff, you know, I don't know, all right? So I want you all to draw on your paper, if you would, in the corner at the bottom, draw a triangle. Draw a triangle. And what I want you to do with the triangle, draw a big triangle, I want you to draw 4 lines, so it from left to right, so it makes your triangle 5 parts. So you got 5 parts to your triangle. And I want you to label each of the parts. And I want you to call this the learning triangle. The learning triangle. And this is anything you learn. You're learning a new law. You gotta learn it. You're learning a new exercise workout. You're learning something today. You're learning anything. This is what happens when you learn. And the first part, which is the biggest part, most circumference of the triangle, I want you guys to write in there. If you wrote a triangle too small, write on the side. I want you to write willing to be impacted. Willing to be impacted. Are you at a point in your life right